What's up, friends? Welcome to SPDM TV. My name is Mike, part of the SPDM crew, and I watch a lot of TV. We talk about various TV topics, reviews, and general appreciation of TV past and new. You could follow me on Instagram, Threads, Serialized, and Blue Sky at MLHilty2452 to see what all I'm watching. So it was announced recently that for season 13 of American Horror Story, that Ariana Grande will be rejoining the cast, or will be joining the cast, which that's very exciting, especially considering that she is the Good Witch of American Horror Story, I suppose. But this isn't the first time that Ariana Grande and Ryan Murphy have worked together because they also worked together on Scream Queens. So I thought it would be fun to go through all of the Ryan Murphy kind of like produced TV shows and kind of see which ones are worth checking out and which ones would be good. This is the first time I've ever kind of done a retrospective on Ryan Murphy as a like just a television producer because there's very few people out there who are working and pumping out as much stuff right now as Ryan Murphy. And in reality, there is a lot of good that's in Ryan Murphy's filmography, and there's a lot of shit in there as well. I said this recently on another podcast that I think we need to stop giving Ryan Murphy so much attention, and I'm walking that back a little bit, saying that I think that Ryan Murphy is extremely talented at making watchable television shows, but just because they're watchable doesn't mean that they're always good. But overall, his track record is pretty good. He's got some like pretty incredible TV shows out there. So let's start at the very beginning. His first show that he did was the WB's Popular. This was a show that it was kind of on the radar for me because this was around the sweet spot that the WB was on with shows like Dawson's Creek, Buffy the Vampire Slayer was on, and Popular was only on for a couple seasons. And I never really got into it because it felt a little, I don't know, it just didn't feel like it was for me. So, but I do remember when it was canceled, I was like, oh, I wish I could have gotten a chance to see that. I just haven't gotten a chance to circle back around to that. But what the show that uh, I think of his now that is like almost underrated is Nip Tuck. So Nip Tuck was from 2003 to 2010. It was on FX. He's the executive producer. He directed a lot. He's considered the creator, one of the creators for the show, and he wrote 24 episodes. So Nip Tuck is about these two plastic surgeons. They start in Miami and then they migrate to somewhere else. And this show is all kinds of fucked up. There's so much in the show that's really messed up in there's a lot in there that says a lot about societal views on beauty standards and the lengths that people will go in order to transform their body in the name of beauty or vanity or what have you. This show was gross in a lot of ways, but also it was captivating. It felt a little bit like a horror show at times, but it was also, strangely funny and comedic at times. The show got weird after a while. So I really liked Nip Tuck a lot. I was one of those people who I watched it with my buddy Chris. We watched Nip Tuck. We didn't stick or we didn't I think we watched it after it was done or if it was canceled, but we ended up going through all of it. There's some really gross moments, but also we had a lot of fun with it as well. This is the show that I probably watched the most out of his. It was Glee, 2009 9 to 2015. But here's the problem with Glee. Glee was good for about half a season, and then cracks started to form a little bit in the second half of season one, even because once you get to, there's regionals and then there's sectionals, and then there's nationals. Like if you're doing like something about a competition, those are your only routes to go. And then also the The problem that you have with high school show is that if the singing competition isn't that, then we have to keep things engaged with all of these kids. And some of these kids were annoying as fuck. They were good singers, but it doesn't change the fact that I did not care about some of these kids. This show also made stars out of people like Corey Monteith, Leah Michelle, the girl who played Santana, and it's very sad what's happened to some of the people on this cast. It's kind of feels like the show's cursed in a way because there's Corey Monteith, there was Mark Saling, there was Naya Rivera, that's her name. All those people died tragically, and it seemed like behind the scenes was just also a complete and utter mess as well. Music was great, the plot was paper thin. It really sucks what they did with some of the characters as well, because Sue got a little old after a while. The stick was got a little old. Mr. Shu, like, I don't know what they did to him, but like season one, Mr. Shu was great, and then he just sucked for the rest of the series. During Glee, the first season of American Horror Story in 2011 came on. I'm going to do a retrospective on American Horror Story with one of my friends coming up in the next couple weeks. So more to come on that, but American Horror Story, I watched the first couple of seasons. It really kind of lost me a little bit once we got to like I think Hotel. Hotel was the one that I was like, I don't know about this. And I've caught like little bits and pieces here and there, but I don't know. I feel like Ryan Murphy shows they kind of have a similar thing where they start strong and then they fizzle out because can't figure out what they need to do from there. Like the second season of American Horror Story, the Asylum one, is the perfect example of that, where they introduce this alien subplot and then they do nothing with it throughout the course of the whole show. So next is 2012, The New Normal. It kind of felt like NBC's answer to Modern Family, where they had this family that was just a lot of really eclectic and colorful characters of this, but it was only canceled. It was canceled after one season. I can't imagine the ratings on it were very good, but hey, it is what it is with that. 2014, I'll give a shout out to the Normal Heart, which is based on a play from 1985. It's a TV movie on HBO. He didn't create it because it's a remake of a play, but definitely one worth checking out. Currently now streaming on HBO Max. Scream Queens. That's after that, 2015 to 2016. This was I feel like this was supposed to be an anthology series, and then Ryan Murphy was like, "Yeah, I don't think I need to do this as an anthology series because kind of season one and season two were just it was weird, just really weird. Great cast, a lot of fun, but yeah, I don't know. I think some of the directions that they went in that is was kind of weird. So this is kind of where we start some of Ryan Murphy's kind of like better anthology stuff because we got American Crime Story, which they've had three installments of the American Crime Story, and all of them are really good. I really like The People versus O.J. Simpson. The assassination of Gianni Versace, I think, is severely underrated because I do remember when that happened because I live in the Chicagoland area, and the whole situation with Andrew Cunanan, he was in Chicago for a little while. He did kill someone in Chicago, but it wasn't it wasn't like anything that serious though for my 10-year-old brain to wrap around, even though I had like like I was super anxious about it. And then impeachment was really good as well. And I think this is kind of his sweet spot where he does a lot of like really great stuff with a particular moment in history. So I really like American Crime Story. It's probably my favorite thing that he's done recently. But then there's also Feud as well. So Feud, you've got Bet versus Joan, and then you've got Capote versus the Swans. Both seasons were really great. I enjoyed Feud a lot, and I wish If there's two shows that I wish that he would just do more of, it's those two. For 2018 was where we start 911. My buddy Brownie, who has guest on Sports Ball a couple of times, has I've asked him numerous times, is this how it is to be a 911 operator? He's just like, no, stop asking me that. But there are now three 911 shows. There's one in Texas, and there's one in Nashville as well. So cool. Next, we've got Posse from or Pose. So okay, so we've got I'm pretty sure it's Posse, but I haven't seen this show in a little while, but I do remember watching a good chunk of it, and I really enjoyed it. Just the the story, you could tell that this story was very important to Ryan Murphy to tell, and these characters were all very fascinating. Billy Porter is just phenomenal in it, so he's really great, and also the cast is is just outstanding. So like representation matters, and this is a great example of a show that I think more people need to check out because it's just phenomenal. We've got The Politician, which is a show that starred Ben Platt. Never really got into this, but it was definitely one that I was interested in, but it never caught my attention. Maybe one day I'll go back and watch it again, so we'll see. But 2020, this is where 911 Lone Star comes in. Also in 2020, we've got Ratchet, which, I mean, I had so much promise for Ratchet. It seems so interesting, and it just didn't stick the landing, and it just bums me out for it because between Ryan Murphy and Sarah Paulson, you would think something like that would be pretty spot on, but it wasn't. Then we've got Hollywood, which this is a show kind of just chronicling the golden age of Hollywood, kind of that post World War II area where, dreams come true. I don't know, like I watched about 5 episodes of this. I've never finished it, and I do think that I should give this a chance and go back to it, but I just never did. So Halston, shortly after this, it's based on the life of the designer Halston. So never watched this, but one to definitely check out. It's on the list. American Horror Stories, plural. I did not watch any of American Horror Stories because I had already checked out on American Horror Story singular, so I didn't check that out. And then like these next four things, kind of the reasons why I've been checked out on Ryan Murphy lately. So the first one is this Monster series. So we've got 3 seasons of Monster. We've got Dahmer, we've got the Menendez brothers, and then we got Ed Gein. And the Dahmer one was fine. The Menendez brothers one just felt gross and exploitative, and I did not like it. And then the Ed Gein one was fine, I guess. So I don't know. Like these shows they're the epitome to me of like trash television. And then not long after that, you've got The Watcher. Yeah, it's I don't know how you make a second season of this. Like it's about a stalker. Are you just gonna have the same stalker or just gonna have another Watcher? Like I don't understand if this is gonna be an anthology series or if this is going to be a continuation of this. I don't know. American Sports Story. Now we have the first one was about Aaron Hernandez, which was a fascinating, fascinating topic, but does not change the fact that this series was just not very good. It wasn't. And I'm very curious to see what he's going to do about this moving forward. There's another one that came out. I never checked this one out. Like Grotesquerie, I think that's how you say it. But yeah, I didn't check this one out. I know that Travis Kelsey's in it. That's about it. Back to some, you've got Dr. Odyssey, which he did create. I haven't caught Dr. Odyssey yet. Mid-Century Modern. I really like that. He was only the executive producer. He did not create it, But Mid-Century Modern was one that I was pretty bummed that it did not get a second season. But, it is what it is with that. And then most recently, you've got 911 Nashville and then All's Fair that came out this year. So all of this to say, Ryan Murphy has got a pretty stacked resume when it comes to television shows. Out of all these shows, I've seen at least like one episode on most of them. There's a couple that I haven't seen any of, and I listed, let's see, 25 shows, and of those 25, 5 he did not create. So 20, like 80% of these shows he was listed as the creator on. So got to give him props, got to give him a little bit of credit for that. Doesn't change the fact that, some of these shows I'm not a huge fan of, but what do you think? What are some of your favorite Ryan Murphy shows? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to do it for this episode of SPDM TV. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything SPDM Crew, wherever you get your podcast. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and Blue Sky and Crew. Check out our website at spdmcrew.com. Shout out to Highflyer Creative Studios for making our awesome logo. Greatly appreciate their support. Check out the other shows on our network. We've got a lot of great content, so please check out the other shows on our network. And finally, if you've got a podcast idea or you're interested in being part of the SPDM crew as a guest or collaborating, email us at gmail.com. Until next time, happy watching, friends.